The Sciforror Film Podcast. Again, really? Hello and welcome to the Sci-Fi Film Podcast. Don't know what I was going to say then, but it wasn't that, and I don't quite know. Anyway, I'm Andy Walker, and I am here, and so is he, my son, Scott. Hello, Scott.
Hello.
Hello. How are you? What's going on with that?
I've had a busy day today. I've been doing loads of things and finally got to the point now where I sort of chilled and everything, and my body's just like, relax. And I'm like, no, I need to do stuff.
Yeah.
But yet now I have realised now, because of the fact because of the previous episodes where we've done this, and I've realised that like my face is really black. The light that I've now got that shines me now shows my t-shirt up really, really brightly.
It's nice to see you wearing a bright colour.
No, but the problem is that I've realised that is the fact that when I've got the dark colours on, I can't tell how much my beard spreads. But now,
fair enough. Well, I have an interesting situation at the moment, which is that I think I appear to have left my reading glasses at work. So I'm having to do this one without any glasses on because my other glasses are distance ones. If I have them on, I can't see anything.
I was going to say, you try to. So is this your no reason that if you sort of muck up anyone's names, you can blame it on the fact you've got no glasses on?
No, it's just down to me being stupid. But yeah, no. So it's.
You sit there with a book right up against your nose, where you've made all the notes in, so you can read us.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying having done that, but
you've not got a spare set.
Not reading, but no. Well, I would have a spare set of reading glasses. I always have the other ones. Except when I don't, obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
Any road up. So this week we are doing just short films.
Yes.
For a change, we're just doing short films, and it's a mix of horror and sci-fi.
Yes.
Some old, some new. Well, I say old. When I say old, I don't mean old. I mean they're not as old as me or you or.
Don't say it like that.
I've got pairs of socks that are. Oh, that's nothing. Well, I've got a pair of shoes that are older than something. Anyway, so we're going to start off first of all with a horror film, and this is called Flycatcher. From Dark Recess Films, made in 2023. The writer, director, editor, VFX, and also cast for this film is Jack Fox. The camera operator and producer was Russell Miller. The other producer was Craig James Moncoeur, and the music is by Chris Miller. And the synopsis for this film says, "A closed mouth catches no flies until you have to scream." Which I really like as a synopsis. I think it works really well.
Yeah, it's nice to read a synopsis where it doesn't give away half of the film.
Yeah. So I thought this was great. I thought it was a really good film. The main reason one of the main reasons I like it is because of the fact that I have a real thing about flies. They get on my nerves. They buzz around and and I just, I take great delight in bapping them and things and all that sort of stuff. So this was quite good.
Bapping?
bapping them. Yeah. I've got a special gun for it.
For a bapping gun.
I've got a bapping gun, a special fly gun. Do you want to see it?
No.
Oh yeah, go on. I'll show you. Hang on, hang on.
We're not going to get told we can't put this anywhere now, are we?
Put that on there. It takes back in place. Then when you see a fly, you go, and it baps it for you.
Oh dear.
Anyway, so I love the fact that this was done in black and white as well. Actually, I think it worked really well done in black and white.
Yeah, I do agree. I was. It did remind me sort of the whole, mainly because of the whole fly thing, right? But the fact that the way that it was filmed and the music reminded me of the film The Fly.
Yeah,
And that's sort of. Well, I love. I don't know. I was expecting something different with the ending, and I don't know if it
yes,
was just me, but the twist to it was just
yeah,
amazing, and I love it. I think it's an amazing film. It's a very short film, but
it
it
is.
tells such a great story.
I think the camera work is excellent as well. Doing it like from the point of view of the fly some of the time, and from his point
Yeah,
of view some of the other times.
yeah, I like that, and I like the acting in it. I've got to say was amazing.
Yeah,
I've got to admit, I would like to know how long it took them to, because the fly looked very real, and I don't know if that is a VFX, but if they sat there waiting for the fly to land there, how long they
no,
waited
I
for?
don't think so.
But
But
no,
it's, I
I'm
mean,
saying I love the black and white films, but I love
yeah,
that sort of. I'm saying it reminds me of sort of 1930s sort of black and white horror films with that look to it, and I love the sort of I loved it. I think it was an amazing film.
the creature
Oh
effects
yeah,
were brilliant.
yeah,
And it is such a good idea. It's such a great sort of, and it was really unexpected. The end of it was really quite unexpected.
yeah. I was expecting something to happen, but not that.
No, it does kind of make you go, oh, okay,
Yeah, I sort of see that there's obviously the hand come out, and I was like, oh okay.
yeah,
And in a way, there's see what happened at the end, and I was like, no, this is wow.
yeah,
And it shocked me massively.
yeah. It was, but I really loved it. I thought it was really good. Okay, on to our second film. Now, the second film is sci-fi. This is a film called Container. It's an Australian film from 2021, and it's done by Film Platter. It's the writer, producer, and director is Clifton Shulk. Cinematographer was Peter Sylvester. The soundscape and soundtrack was by Tom Keller and Joe Hayes from Folklore Sound of Music. Music was by Ack Kinmonth, and the cast Jesse Warren. The synopsis for this film says the creator of a time machine becomes trapped inside his own creation, where he must figure out the timing of his mistakes, past, present, future contained. Now, I would say, from the fact that you've been shaking your head all the way through everything I said about this film, that you didn't like it. And I know you're not a big fan of
All right,
time travel. No, actually, no. I'm not going to say that. I know you're not a fan of time travel films in any way, shape, or form. But I
I
thought,
no, actually, I'll tell you, there are a few time travel films I like the film The Time Machine. I like. Um, there's a few others that I like, but no, this I'll get to I liked the makeup in it was amazing. I thought it was very well done. The way that the makeup and the makeup effects that was done on him, I thought were quite good, especially with the color eye changing, eye color changing,
yeah,
and the sort of burns appearing. I thought was very well done. The science, I suppose, is okay behind it. It's just it annoys me because obviously, yeah, you create a paradox, and then the whole thing of I'm going to stop it.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
the thing is the fact that, well, that's the whole point. He didn't.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's the fact that him sitting there saying about the fact that
But if you do something that goes wrong, the obvious thing is to try and put it right.
yeah, which he didn't do straight away.
No, but you can't think of it. You don't necessarily think about whether or not you can. You just think I need to try.
Yeah, but it's just no. It's just there's certain bits like I know the fact that it would have broken the paradox and it changed the film and all that. But the guy he walked past himself and he tried grabbing his hand. Move your leg, kick him. Would have broken it. But
Obviously,
it's just
you got it.
it's just yeah. I'm not a massive fan of time travel films because
I know.
a lot of them do end up sort of doing the whole. Especially the main thing that it annoys me ones the ones that go, we're not going to cause a paradox in this. You're going to, no matter what you do, you're going to cause a paradox. Oh, no matter what you do, if you go back in time, your presence in being there in that time is going to change the future. You're never going to be able to go back to the one that you first originally came from because that first original one wouldn't be there from when you left.
Depends
Oh, what?
on different things. No, I
Oh,
really like this film. I mean, I like time travel films anyway, but I really like the way that this is thought out and put together. I think it works really well. I think the effect, as you say, the effects are really good. I think the set's really good, doing it in
yeah.
the container thing and that sort of thing. I think the acting's good as well. But I don't know. I like the. See, I don't know. I like the whole thing about time travel because to me it kind of makes good storytelling.
I
And
don't,
that's what it's all about.
there are a few time travel films that I like where it is the whole point of we're gonna go forward or backwards. Fine. They're ones that can be enjoyable. When they sit there and go, we're now going to go back to where we came from, it's like, well, that's not possible because you've changed that timeline from when you left or when if you went backwards, you're not going to be there for you to be able to go backwards to. And you being in the past has changed the past, changed the future. So it might not be the same. And if you've gone to the forward, then going back, you don't know what you're going to be able to check, where you're going to be able to be without causing a massive ripple to be able to go back to that future. Shut up, don't get me started, all right? This is why I don't like time travel films that
Yeah.
many because of the fact that I get to the point where I'm like this and everyone gives me that look of, but it's just a film.
I just think you overanalyze things too much.
I do. This is one of my issues, but it's only certain films that I overanalyze.
But I think it's a really good film. I really like it. I think it's a great little self-contained film that works well.
Oh yeah, don't be wrong. The set, like you said, the set design I think was very good. The actual science that they're trying to do behind it, and the fact that he said, like he says, he's not a scientist. He's doing this because he thinks he can, and the fact that he's not 100% sure on what's going on is I like because of the fact that he's better than films that go, this is definitely going to work.
Yeah, yeah,
How? How do you know it's definitely going to work? But the ones we sit like this film, we're sitting there going, I'm not sure, but I'm going to give it a go. I like that story behind it, and I like the reasoning why he's doing it behind it. Obviously,
mm,
not it's not a nice reason. It's not a like sort of family friendly reason. He's doing it to go back to save like things that have gone on. But it's yeah, it's just the fact that I like there's certain bits about this I do like, but the fact it's a time travel film just annoys me.
I know, I know.
I'm
That's
pretty
why
sure that's why you keep picking them.
every now and again I've just got to put one in. Okay, on to the third one. This is again as a sci-fi one. Now this is on a channel called Kiss Kiss, KIS, and they're another channel a bit like Dust. They pick up short films, they put them on. They're slightly
Yeah.
after the date. So this originally came out in 2018, but it went on there on 2022. And this is a film called Unknown.
Mm.
It's through Mayu Distribution. The directors okay, are Kevin Rogovitz, Laszlo Kalbach, Nicholas Plaz, Plazanet, and
Yeah.
Sasha Meda. The production was Eco Art FX, and the soundtracks by Alan Constantine and Matt C. Stephen. The synopsis says Professor John Becker and Dr. Nick Harmon, two dedicated and passionate scientists, will discover the mysteries of a cave light years away from Earth that is capable of supporting life.
Yes.
Now, we've seen a couple of films before about when, sort of like, the Earth's basically on its last legs, and we send people out to the stars looking for Earth-style planets to go and,
Yes. Yeah.
and destroy in the same way that we've
Yeah.
destroyed our own. But this is a slightly different one. I really like the idea and the story. The CGI on it is good, apart from the faces look a bit strange.
Mm.
It looks great. It's one of these things that feels almost like it's part of a larger and longer film.
Yes.
And to be honest, I'd like to see that film rather than this short,
Yeah.
because I was left feeling a bit kind of like, yeah, and
Yeah. I'll
what's
go in.
next?
I
What's
lo-
going to happen? You know what I mean?
yeah, I say I do agree. I like the visual effects in it. I was a bit. It was a bit hard to tell whether or not all of it was visual effects or if there was a lot of it and then some of it was live action or what. But I like the fact that when you have films like that. Um, no, what I liked about this is the fact that this is a film which actually talks about, or not actually shows that not every planet, as much as it harbours life, is going to be like Earth.
No,
It's the fact that it's what a lot of people think is the fact that it can support life. It's going to be like Earth. No, because
yeah,
you don't know what is growing on that planet.
yeah,
It
absolutely,
like it shows in this the fact that there's a very very vicious plant species that will do. Admittedly, it does show human nature that to scan it, he tries taking it apart and killing it.
yeah.
But
First
it's
thing
just the
you do,
fact that it's just the thing is that he like it retaliates and it's like it seems shocked by it. It's like well, you're the foreign entity.
yeah, you're the aggressor here. You're the one
Yeah,
that's come in and
you're the one that's come in and pulled part of it apart just to scan it.
yeah.
You look surprised when it retaliates.
I think that was done really well. The actual plant sort of
Oh, what
take,
the morphine bit of it?
yeah,
Yeah,
that was done really, really well. And I like the fact that it was kind of like the end of it was kind of like an end, if you like.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do
But
say
yeah, I mean, it's
I
it's
like.
it's good film. But I really do think I'd like to watch. I'd like to see more. I'd like to see a full film of it rather than just this short.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't think it gave enough.
definitely something I think that this could be used as possibly as a I don't know, like an opening sequence or something, or even if it's something just after the credits or something like after not after the credits, after like the title sequence, or just a little snippet of we've had this report back or whatever from a film.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
definitely think it needs to be expanded on.
yeah. Definitely, definitely. Right. The fourth film is again a sci-fi film from 2022, and this is called "And Then They Came."
Yeah.
It's a film made by Caleb Shockley, and the cast is Matthew Floyd, Todd Martin, and Corinne Tabor. And the synopsis of this says Charlie finds himself in an unwanted predicament when he receives an alien signal and has to decide what he truly cares about.
Mm.
Here's another one. I really like the idea and I really like the way it's developed. And the acting I think was really good, and the effects as well.
Yeah.
But it left me a bit kind of,
Yeah, I'll admit I did the same thing. I sort of sat at the end of it and I was like, okay. It sort of I watched it and I was like, there's something definitely missing. I'm not 100% sure what, but
yeah.
it definitely seemed like there was something missing. And don't get me wrong, it's still a good film,
Oh
but I
yeah,
think
no,
it's think it's just missing something. Like the graphics that they used, and so even the sort of style of filming, because it looked like it was meant to be set sort of, let's say, late 80s sort of or early
Yeah.
80s sort of film,
Oh, yeah.
and because mainly because of the technology and stuff. But I liked certain bits of it, but it was a bit confusing in places. I think.
It just, I mean, yeah, I do think it's a good film, but it just really didn't do anything for me. It just kind of, it was what it was, and it was like, oh, well, so,
Yeah,
and
it's dead sad. It's definitely not taken away from the film. But it's definitely, I think, in my opinion, it's missing something.
yeah,
I'm
no, I
saying I
agree.
can't put my finger on what, but it's definitely missing something.
Yeah, I think that's the problem, not being able to identify what it is that's quite
Yeah,
not quite there or not quite right.
yeah.
It's
It's just to
because
say
you're meant to,
we've watched films where we could definitely say, "Oh, the acting's rubbish," or "This is
yeah,
that." But this, I think, we've had a couple of films like this where it's been like well, something's missing or something's wrong, but it's hard to pinpoint what because of
yeah,
like it's a bit hard to go. That's definitely what it is.
yeah. No, I agree. It's a pity because it could be a really good film. I just think there's something not quite there.
Yeah,
Um, okay. So our last film is a short horror film from 2022 called The Changing Room.
yeah,
Now this is from Grimoire Horror. Writer, director, editor, and VFX was Sam Evanson. The DOP was Drew Gardella. The score is by Aaron Drake, and the cast is Jamie Taylor Ballester and Alan Maxson. The synopsis for this, it says, a woman finds herself in a nightmarish trap after sneaking into a closed-off changing room.
yeah. That I've got to say, it's not so much now, but when I was younger, this was a massive fear of mine. Because of the whole, like, mainly it was after I watched the film Mirrors.
Right.
It's not, I wasn't that young, but I was really younger than what I am now. Obviously, the whole thing of there's stuff in the mirrors and it comes out, and going into a changing room where there is mirrors both sides and it's just endless reflection
Yeah,
terrified the absolute life out of me.
I can imagine. Yeah.
And it's the whole thing of what I liked about it is the fact that a lot of cultures as well have these whole mirror demons and stuff like that. And I like the fact that it's sort of it's that shock factor on her face as I don't know what to do
Yeah.
because it's like, is it a trick of the light? Is it my imagination, or is there something there? And it's sort of it's as we find out, it's only sort of as it gets to the end that she realizes there is something there.
Yeah. I love this film. I think it's got brilliant atmosphere, great effects. It's really well made. There is a video online of how they did the whole effect of the reflections in the multiple reflections in the mirror without reflecting the
Yeah, yeah.
camera.
I was gonna say that is the fact that they've done that and not had the camera crew or the person with the camera being reflected as well is just amazing.
Yeah, and with the person sort of crawling through the mirrors,
Yeah,
coming towards it from further back without being reflected in the other mirrors.
yeah.
It's very cleverly done.
And
Um,
it's just and the fact also getting the aspect of filming it on a phone,
yeah,
especially the end, the sort of filming that reflection and actually make it obviously having it so it is actually part of the film footage. That's
yeah,
the video that her recording it is as is in the film. So it's not like you're looking at it and going, "Oh, that's not recording and picking fault in it." But it's having that reaction to it and that reflection and that angle of it. I think was very well done.
yeah. I mean, it was the whole thing is just really well made. It's really good, really
Is
well. I think it's an excellent film, and it's great. It is so well made, so well put together and thought out, and
as that the acting as well from her
yeah,
behalf, because of the fact obviously we know from looking at other films we've watched and being in part of it's hard to actually portray that reaction properly and that fear and all, but she does it so well. And I think
yeah,
it's that genuine terror in her eyes and the face that sort of makes you believe it a bit more.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think this is an excellent film. It's possibly one of the best films I think we've seen so far this year.
Yeah,
Really, really good.
to say it's definitely in my top three for horror films that we've seen this year.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so there you go. That's five short films. They're all good in their own way, and some of them we prefer to others. Um, People out there, have a watch, see what you think. Tell us if you think we're wrong. Tell us if you think we're right. Just tell us anything. Tell us what colour the sky is in your country. Tell us what colour your eyes are. Tell us what colour
Colour
socks
of the
you wear.
sky is in your country.
Tell us tell us how many toes you've got on your left foot. If it's more than six.
What if it's
Um
less?
well,
What if it's less than
if it's
six?
less than six, it doesn't matter. Um Unless it's three. That could be important. So the good news is that song about being possessed by the ghost of Edgar Allan Poe got through to the final of the Eurovision Song Contest. By the time you see this, the final will all be over. So we'll know whether or not he won. But he got through to the final. That's an interesting thing. The other interesting thing about it is the fact that it comes from Austria for some reason. I don't quite know what Austria have got about being possessed by the ghost of Edgar Allan Poe. But it's an interesting fact, nevertheless.
I don't think it's just Austrian people.
Well, Austria put through a song
Yeah,
that's
I
got
know
the
that, but it doesn't.
the Austrian people voted
What I'm
for it.
saying is, I don't think it's just Austrian people that might have that concern. There might be a lot more people out there that have it.
I'm not sure how many people would be concerned about being possessed by the ghost of Edgar Allan Poe. But it was
Obviously, enough for someone to write a song.
wrong about it, yeah. As the person on the TV said, it's probably the best song I've ever heard about the ghost of a 19th century author. Um, but
Oh,
there you go. So yes, well, there you go. Thank you, Scott, for your
okay.
input and foresight. No, not foresight. Insight. Outsight.
Foresight, and the last name of the geezer that used to present Strictly.
That's Forsyth.
Oh, okay, Foresight.
But then my tongue got it. Anyway, next week we will be doing two feature films.
Yeah,
We will be doing Silent Hill and Silent Hill Revelation,
yeah.
which will be interesting because I've seen Silent Hill, but it was a long time ago. And I haven't seen the second one, Silent Hill Revelation. And there was a lot of years between them, good 10-year gap between them, I think.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
it is actually, from what I remember, it's actually portrayed in the film the fact there is a big gap between it. It's not just like the second one. It's not just, oh, this is a few weeks later. It's like years down the line.
Years and years and years and years. So, don't know what I'm talking about now. So, nice to see you back, by the way, from last week. You couldn't make it for the interview.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. We obviously did the first bit and then sat there and was like, I feel really, I just suddenly felt really icky and felt like I was like, oh no, it's the phrase I keep telling everyone. I don't
Really
make the whole.
icky.
Oh, it's the phrase I use instead of going what I genuinely have because it makes people feel really horrible when I say what was really wrong with me.
Feeling very icky.
Oh,
I
no, I
think I'm
was
gonna.
feeling really. I was I come over all dizzy and feeling like, but yeah, I'm
I
feeling
think
a
I'm
lot
gonna
better.
make a film called Icky.
And I'm going to make a horror film and just call it Feeling Icky.
Feeling icky.
Yeah,
How you feeling? A little bit icky.
call it Little Icky.
Oh dear. Anyway, yeah. So on that bombshell note, well, how many minutes? How many minutes? Yes. Thank you to anybody and everybody for watching and listening and partaking in the world.
Partaking in the world.
Be good to each other and yourselves. No, that's not me. That was Jerry Springer. What's going on there? I'm being possessed by the devil, by the ghost of Jerry Springer.
It was another one that felt a bit icky.
So, in the words of the song, who the hell is Edgar?
No one's going to know what this song is until it comes out, unless they've watched it already.
No. We will see you again next week. No, we won't. We will see each other again next week. You will see us again whenever you watch, if you watch. And if you don't, then you'll maybe hear us. Or if you don't hear or see us, then you won't know what the hell's going on. And you won't hear or see this message, in which case, ignore everything I've just said, even though you haven't heard it or seen it.
Hopefully by then as well, Dad might have your glasses back.
Who said that?
The giant banana. That's why I'm sort of trying to slash down.
Okay. Right.
Don't jump.
Right. So good people, we will see you again, and thank you very much for being here and all that kind of thing. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.
The Sciforror Film Podcast.